Hi, everybody. It's me again. It's Talene and Talbian Aronson, and this is part two of building faith muscles. As I promised you last week that I would come to you and explain more about how to build those faith muscles and have the strategy to do so. Well, if you can see, I'm here actually in my closet, and I'll tell you why I'm in my closet. It's part of the whole teaching here. So building faith muscles. Now, it's not about just you going through the trials and everything. There's a way to build that faith muscle, just like in working out. When you're lifting weights and you're doing repetitions, you're doing 3 sets of reps, and you're just going through the pain, and you're tearing those muscles and building more, and you're tearing and building more. Well, that comes with persistence. Without pain there's no gain, as I explained before. And why I'm here in my closet, actually, this is my big walk-in closet, which I love coming in here. This is my what I call my war room. um I come in here because it's quiet, and I can focus, and I can just be one, just me and God. And in Psalm 46:10, it says, "Be still and know that I am God." And sometimes we have to take time out from our busy schedules and really give that time to God and just focus on Him, because life does take away a lot of our energy, a lot of our focus, a lot of our attention. But we have to remain focused and remember who really we are serving. We're not serving the world, we're serving Him. And, just like any relationship, you got to spend time with that person. Well, with God, you have to spend time with Him, reading His Word, getting into prayer with Him, and just talking to Him. I love coming in here because it's just me. I've got a pet bed here, which I put actually for my cats. But I'm the one who uses it now. I mean, they don't even come in here. Except I have one cat right here, but you can't see him. His name's Mickey. So I like coming in here, and I just love being in here to where I could just close my eyes and just talk to God and just tell Him everything as if He doesn't know, which He knows everything even before I say it, but where I can just listen to Him and just take in that part of His character, His personality, where I can say, okay, God, be you right now. Just be you with me. Be real with me. Just be you. And I sometimes am told, be quiet, listen to me. And this is where I can be quiet. This is where it's just me and Him in His presence, where I can invite the Holy Spirit to just come and help me pray and help me to hear exactly what the Lord wants to tell me. Um, I've many times I've come in here where I've asked God for answers to questions, and He's immediately answered me, and it's taken me aback, like, wow, that's profound. I never thought of that. Or He shows me in His Word. And even in Galatians, it says that, if we don't give up, in Galatians 6:9, it says, if we don't give up, and we will reap in due time what we've been working for, and that's persistence. So, in order to build those faith muscles, you have to persist. You're going to have situations where, while you're building them and going through all that and doing those repetitions and enduring and persisting, trying to gain what your goal is, you're going to have the tears. You're going to have that pain. You're going to have that ache, because it's part of the struggle. But if you keep persisting, in due time, you will reap what you're trying to gain. And that is the strength that God can give you, because our strength comes from God. The joy of the Lord is our strength. When we have His joy, we have His strength, because that's who gives us that peace. In our weakness, we can find that strength through Him. And sometimes you will go through moments where you're feeling really weak, that you don't know. Even the strongest Christian goes through that. And it's because you're going up higher and higher and higher, to you're climbing that ladder where it's getting closer to your God-given destiny, which I talk a lot about in my book, because He said so. Learn to take God at His word. So when you're getting there and you're getting closer and closer, you're going to face obstacles, but you can take those obstacles and use them as your stepping stones. It's all how you look at it, because when you see things through the eyes of God, you have a different perspective than what your fleshly eyes would want to see, because we want to see, oh, the sometimes the drab and the dreary, the negative, but God says, no, look at it through my eyes. If you look at it through my eyes, you get a better picture, because I see the bigger picture, he says. And he does. We only see a small glimpse. God sees the bigger picture. That's where the faith and the trust comes in. You have to believe that God sees everything much more than you do. He doesn't see the small little areas. He sees the bigger picture. But you got to follow him and say, Lord, okay, hold his hand. Visualize that you're holding his hand. He's walking you. Just like a parent walks a little child, because that's who we are to him. We're his children. And if you just hold his hand and say, okay, Lord, guide me. I'm walking wherever you want to go. Let's go together, side by side. But you're the navigator. You're the driver of my life. You're the Lord. To make him Lord of your life means for him to be the total. He's the boss. He's everything in your life. He runs your life, and you have to just trust that, like with a childlike faith. You have to trust that God knows where he's taking you, and you know it's going to be good. You may not understand what's happening through the process, but in the end, it's good. It's really good. And then you think about, whoa, Lord, thanks a lot that you didn't do what I asked you to do in my life. I'm glad you didn't listen to me. I'm glad you didn't allow what I was asking for to happen. I'm glad, because my way would have been totally like not what you want, in your life compared to what he has. It's kind of like this. Have you ever seen these pictures where I've seen a picture where Jesus is standing before a little child, and he's got a big teddy bear behind him. This little kid has this tiny little teddy bear, and she's holding on to it, and the Lord's like, please let me have it. I've got something better for you. And the little girl is like, no, I don't want to give it away. I don't want to give it away. But little does she know that if she gives away the small little teddy bear, Jesus has his big teddy bear, a much better one for her. So let's not hold on to the things that we think are good for us. Let's give it to him, surrender it to him. And in doing so, think of that being the tear in your faith muscles, where it's painful to give this away. Like, think of it like just falling off your arms and your legs and your abs. Just let it rip out of you. But what you will gain is far better. It's incomprehensible, much better than anything you can even imagine, because God's giving it. And what God gives, eh, my Abba Father in heaven knows best. Father knows best. He knows what is the best thing for us. He loves us. There's no greater love in this world. Not even your parents' love. As much as your parents love you, as much as you love your kids, that doesn't even compare to the love that our Creator of the heavens and the earth, the King of all kings, the Lord of all lords, that the creator of this whole universe, our Father, our Creator, how much he loves us. If he cares so much about the little sparrow, what more don't you think he would care about you? You are his creation. You are created above the angels. Think about it. Think about this for a second. The angels look at us with such adoring envy. I guess that's the best way I can put it, for lack of a better term. But they look at us like, wow, they are the redeemed. They're the Creator's children. I mean, they say we're the creation. We're creatures. But they're more than just the creatures. They're God's children, grafted into the vine. And if you're Jewish and you're a believer in the Messiah, Even more, you're a complete Jew. My husband is half Jewish. He says I'm a complete Jew because he believes in Yeshua, the Messiah. He believes in Jesus the Christ. And that is awesome. I mean, just to know that we're grafted into his vine of the whole tree of life, of this whole amazing heavenly. I can't put it into words. I can say it in tongues, but I can't put it in my own words. But you get my drift, right? So I just want to say that, keep persisting. Don't give up. He loves you. He wants to give you that gain according to his will. Whatever you ask, according to his will, you must ask it according to his will, not your will. Your will stinks. Sorry, but your will stinks. You don't have a will that is as good as God's will. But if you ask it according to his will, he'll give it to you. And in his time, in his due time, just wait on him. Just wait on him. Don't push it. God is never ever late. He's never too early. He's always on time. He will never ever let you down. I guarantee that. You can call me a liar if you say that God let you down, because that never will happen. Not in any lifetime. It will never happen. God will never ever let you down because he's God. See, we tend to put God in the category of man, where we think, well, he doesn't have the time for me, or I don't think he's going to do what I'm asking him to do because he's too busy. Well, he's never too busy for you. He's God. He's omnipotent. He's everywhere at the same time. But if you put God in the category of his own, God doesn't share his category with anybody else. Okay? His category defines him as he's perfect, complete, perfect as you can even imagine, okay? And even more and beyond that, because there's our imagination is so limited, our comprehension is so limited. He is perfect in every way. He's flawless. And even though we are made in his image, the only shortfall is we were made as men and women who have a will and a nature where we make our own decisions. We're at our own free will. But if we choose to keep following what God wants and just believe that he is in control of our lives, you'll see the perfection that God can bring into your life in the perfect ways possible for your life. Okay? And, we're, of course, in this world, it's always going to be limitations. There's always going to be, some stuff that will happen, like negativities you see in the world. Well, that's because there are people who choose the negative. It's not God's fault, okay? And I'm sick and tired of hearing people blame God for their problems. It's not God's fault. If someone is where they are, it's because of their choices they've made, whether good or bad. That is not God's fault. God said, you've got this here and you've got this here. Make your choice. Which one do you want? Okay? And if you choose good, if you choose to obey God, these are the blessings that will fall. And you can read that in Deuteronomy. If you choose the bad choices, you're going to reap the consequences of those, just like you'll reap the consequences and the rewards and the blessings of when you choose to obey. But when you choose to disobey, you're going to reap the consequences of the opposite of what the blessings would have been. So does that make sense? So I do want to say that I pray that you persevere. I pray that you endure in everything that you're doing and keep those faith muscles building constantly. Keep building them, and as you build them, the more and more there's the strength of God. You will see the blessings flow because God is giving you that power and authority, and he's teaching you that you have the victory through him. And just keep persevering because God is always there with you. He's always there for you. He's always fighting for you, and just believe that he loves you to the very end. Nothing can separate you from the love of God. Nothing, no power, nothing on earth, nothing can separate you from his love. And that's a promise. And I just want to say thank you for giving your time for even 15 minutes. Um, if you love seeing my videos, please subscribe to my page. It's you can see the subscribe button. Just hit subscribe, share it with your friends. Share it on your pages if you like. You can find me on Instagram. I'm on Facebook. I'm on YouTube. And don't forget, oops, I can do it here, I guess. So don't forget to, if you want to get a copy of my book, I'll send you a signed copy if you buy it from my website, www.theonlyim.com. It's also available on Amazon, Barnes and Noble, Books a Million, all over the online version. And it's also available in the digital version. And I hope to see you soon. And if there's any other topics that sometimes you want to hear about, write me, comment, send me a message. I'm available. I hope to see you soon again. Take care. Bye bye.